My name is Brianne Dorsey. I currently attend Tarleton State University. This is a research presentation for a research methods class for Dr. Higgins at Tarleton State University, and it is about if there should be any more accommodations made for students who suffer with peanut allergies. So in the abstract portion of the research paper, we discuss having an allergy to peanuts and how it may have an emotional effect on children because they may not be able to eat everything that everyone else can eat. For example, when they go to restaurants, attend birthday parties, or especially at school in the cafeteria, they always have to be extremely careful and cautious of what they're eating and what their neighbors are eating because if they happen to eat something or come in contact with something that they are allergic with, like peanuts, um, that they could possibly be affected by cross contamination, it could possibly be life threatening if not treated properly. So, in this research, under the literature review and introduction, I discussed the most common signs of anaphylactic shock, which is a result of coming into contact with peanuts whenever you're having an allergic reaction, which can include a constriction of the airways, swelling of the throat, which makes it difficult to breathe, a severe drop in blood pressure, also known as shock, a rapid pulse, dizziness, lightheadedness, or loss of consciousness. Most people may not think about how the most common snack, which is usually served on an airplane, is peanuts. Some people may think that if the person that is allergic does not eat the peanuts, they will be okay. But in fact, peanuts contain an oil residue that can sometimes be inhaled and cause a reaction as well. Or sometimes if the person has a peanut oil residue on their hands and then they touch someone who is allergic or touch something that the person who is allergic touches, it can also trigger a reaction, an allergic reaction, and you can go into anaphylactic shock, which you definitely wouldn't want to happen on a plane, especially or a classroom or a cafeteria. So on this slide, it just shows a picture of students and it asks the question, is it wrong to find contentment in peanut butter when others are allergic to it? And it also talks about how a peanut allergy occurs. And it occurs when your immune system mistakenly identifies the peanut proteins as something harmful. Direct or indirect contact with the peanuts can cause your immune system to release symptom causing chemicals into your bloodstream. And then it discusses how most child care centers and most school districts have adjusted their menus, but there is still something to be said about the students who bring their lunch to school. Even though parents may feel as if their own child's meal will not have any effect on other students, it may be helpful to educate families on the types of exposure to peanuts and how it can occur in various ways, whether it be direct contact, cross contact, like touching an object that has been touched by someone with peanuts, or through inhalation, which is just like, from breathing in the proteins. And these are all things that may trigger allergic reaction. So in a sense, the research is basically just put into place to see if how many people are actually affected or know who is affected and if more accommodations should be made. So this current slide just speaks about how studies have reported an increased amount of bullying with children that have food allergies, a significant impact on families' social activities such as dining out and attending sporting events or other entertainment events, and missed social activities such as play dates, birthday parties, and camps for the children who are affected. Um, and I thought I would point out that people who are allergic to peanuts are not able to eat Chick-fil-A either because their food is made in peanut oil. I also found a picture that talks about the no appetite for bullying. So this slide sheds light on research that was previously done in Massachusetts public schools to determine the effects of peanut-free policies on rates of, I'll try to say this correctly, epinephrine or EpiPen, I'll say, administration for allergic reactions. The methods used and analyzed consist of rates of EpiPen administration in all Massachusetts public schools and Massachusetts public school nurse survey reports of peanut-free policies from 2006 to 2011, and whether schools self-designated as peanut-free based on policies. Rates of EpiPen administration were compared for schools with or without peanut restrictive policies. And this is just a picture of how the EpiPen is administered, and these are just the common boxes that you may see the EpiPens come in. So finally, after reading up and getting some good information about how students are affected by peanut allergies, and after reading up on previous research methods, I decided to conduct my research method of the current study, basically providing school nurses in a school district with an approved online survey with simple yes or no questions. So basically, each student that visits the school nurse in this particular school district for any reason, whether it be, a headache, upset stomach, anybody who visits the nurse would be asked, not required, but asked to participate in this very brief survey or in this questionnaire. Each question asked will only accept a yes or a no answer, and it will not require any short answers. The school district will also send out an email to staff, faculty in its entirety, as well as listed parent and student email addresses. And then also all the staff, the cafeteria workers, the principal, administrators, counselors, anybody that works there, and any parents that receive any kind of information electronically for their student will receive this brief questionnaire through their email. There will be a short description on why this survey in particular is important, and it's recommended, it's not required. And this email will briefly explain in detail as to why accommodations may be arranged. However, the proposed accommodations would not be listed in this email until the anonymous statistics are shared. So for this test, I conducted 7 simple questions. For the first question, it's just identifying who's taking part in the survey. And it's asking for number 1, are you a student, a parent, a teacher, or an administrator? Number 2 is, have you ever been allergy tested, yes or no? Number 3, have you ever had an allergic reaction at school or work, yes or no? Number 4, do you think peanuts or peanut butter should be allowed at school and on airplanes? Yes or no? Number 5, are you or anyone you know allergic to peanuts? And number 6, do you know what the signs are of someone going into anaphylactic shock? Yes or no? And number 7, have you ever received training on using an EpiPen? Yes or no? So these questions will help the research, because going forward, it will explain that accommodations will possibly be put in place if 30% or more of the faculty, staff, administrators, and student and teachers all come back saying that accommodations should be made based on who is all affected. So this will be the graph that will be shared once all the questionnaires are received and submitted. We would go ahead and email out or post on the school district website these results so everybody can take a look. It, of course, will be anonymous, but people will be able to tell if students and teachers are actually being, if there is a high number of people that are allergic to peanuts, at the school, and then it will help us base our decision if there should be any accommodations made. Accommodations such as absolutely no peanuts allowed, or possibly, hey, we're going to go ahead and let the students bring whatever they would like. Just depends on, the results. So here it shows the percentage of the student body, administrators, and staff. And it just asks if, they're trained on the EpiPen, if you work with someone that's allergic to peanuts and experience anaphylactic personally. If there aren't any accommodations made, it would be solely based on the feedback received through the school district. In this study, email and text reminders will be sent out to all staff, parents, and students to ensure as much participation as possible with the short survey. Some teachers could also choose to offer incentives to their students for the completion of the surveys provided. Teachers could say, hey, if you finish this survey and show proof, or, I can give you some extra credit. It would just help the students become interested in participating. Once all the survey results are received, they will be looked over by the school board and participating pediatricians, and the following accommodations will be made if more than 30% of students and staff are negatively impacted by peanuts. So making accommodations such as completely restricting peanuts on airplanes, at school, childcare facilities, and school cafeterias will be extremely beneficial. Teachers can send reminder letters home to parents to make sure they did not pack a lunch with peanuts or peanut butter, and remind parents to help their students become compassionate and understanding of the needs of their peers. Allowing everyone to participate in an improved anonymous study and posting the results could have a major impact on how parents, students, teachers, and administrators and child care directors perceive this issue, and in turn, it will most likely help everyone to take it very serious, even if they are not directly impacted.